Warning: the Good Times podcast features foul language and insensitive comments performed by professionals. Accordingly, Good Times podcast must insist that no one should play this show out loud during work, at school, or with your grandma. Enjoy the show. On this week's episode of the Good Times podcast, we give you a special 4th of July episode where we talk about swimming pool mishaps, heat exhaustion, 4th of July, car wash failures, manscaping, sample failures, and a ton else. All of this and much more emanating live from Almanac Jack's back crack whack sack yard. This is the Good Times Podcast.
Good Times Podcast. Hey, y'all having a good time? Having a good time. Always a good time. Now what the hell are you waiting for? Donuts.
Welcome on in, everyone. I am the American Nightmare and the assassin of the slave mine, the executioner. And if you don't know, now you know. And fresh out the box, stop, look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's Almanac Jack.
Happy 4th of July, fuckers! Welcome to a special 4th of July edition of Good Times. That's right, this is the special 4th of July edition where there's good laughs, good fun, and it's always a good time.
Damn right.
So, Executioner, you showed up to my casa,
Yeah.
and how you feeling after about 12:30 or so?
I'm feeling pretty good. I just been drinking most of the damn time. What do we have? Some Jim Beam, some tequila, some of that watermelon
Some
shit.
of that tequila, some of that watermelon vodka.
Oh, man.
Now we're having some bee ears.
Yeah, some Ronas and fucking... It's Rona season, baby. You know what
Shit,
I
it's
mean?
Rona year. What are you talking about? It's Rona year.
See, we got the Ronas, and then we got the Modelos.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch
Good
of
old-
everything.
The good old Modelos, so... It's
Yeah.
all good in the hood.
Sure is.
It's
What, don't I have a penis?
So we just had a run-in by your wife.
My wife. Yeah. Oh, we were talking about penises and shit. Why isn't it about my penis?
So what about you? How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm feeling pretty buzzed right now.
Yeah?
Oh man, I've had a few shots of tequila. I've had some vodka.
Oh.
A little bit of JM Beam.
I thought you were going to say JN.
JN.
Some good old gin.
I haven't had any of that. But, man, you know what's crazy is today at work, it's 4th of July, so it's kind of like one of the big days for Frito-Lay, right?
Oh, God.
And this guy at Walmart, I'm putting away my stuff, and he says to me, "Man, it must suck to have your job during this holiday." And I'm like, fuck you. Like, what the fuck? Because it was just like big ass like white guy. You could tell like he's never worked like a hard day, you know, like he's an office guy, right?
Yeah.
And he says that to me. I didn't even say anything to him, but in my head I'm cussing the fuck out of this guy.
What you looking at, bitch?
You know, I'm like, how the fuck do you tell that to somebody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, what an asshole.
Right.
What a class
What a
hole.
class hole. Yeah, that's some bullshit because I have seen a lot of people that like they like don't understand the essence of work. It's like
Yeah.
they just know what it's like to just kind of sit in the office and like that's really it. You know what I mean? And tell people stuff. And it's just kind of like, what the fuck do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I completely, I would be hella mad too. I'd be like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, something.
I know,
something.
dude. Like, and it's kind of getting worse because like every like few weeks or so, like I get somebody like this, and it pisses me off because it's like, yo, you shouldn't be talking shit, especially with like the coronavirus going on right now, whatever, and everybody like not working.
Right.
Like, how you gonna talk shit on me because I'm actually working right now? You know,
People would kill to be in your position.
exactly, because there's a lot of
literally,
people.
like a lot of people unemployed.
Dude, yeah, think of like a Ross or a Marshalls or something like
Yeah,
that. They're
Ross, Chandler, Rachel, and Joey. You know,
not, all the friends,
all
right?
the friends. Like it's
You know, like-
crazy. They're all out of jobs.
Yo, like last month or whatever, they weren't working at all.
Yeah.
And like here I am, I've been working steady the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, this fucking guy comes over here talking his shit. Like, yo, I should have just dumped a whole like bag of Doritos on his ass.
You should have just called him a dump truck.
Dump truck. I should have, man. He's a fucking dick.
That is some dig as shit too,
Yeah.
man. I don't like people that are like that. They just, it's like, yeah, of course it kind of sucks to have my job, but like at the same time you're like, bro, like you don't understand what's happening here. Like,
Exactly.
You're saved. You're all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're white. That's all that matters. You're white.
Yeah, so I guess we could jump into the subject of like 4th of July real quick. Like, you know, I know we said like Happy 4th and stuff like that. And for me personally, like I'm not here to celebrate like Independence Day, because it's like today is the day that white people said you're free.
Sure.
It's like, I've always been free, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is, I do what I want. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there's things that we can't do, like kill people and shit like that, or you go to jail.
Damn it.
Yeah. And then obviously they took over like a lot of the lands of like all the Indians and shit like that.
Yeah, the
And,
indigenous folks.
yeah, the indigenous folks got fucked over by the people, you know what I mean?
Oh, for real.
Especially by the fucking Europeans, and they came in, they fucked everything up. But
And
also,
then they fucked them.
yeah, exactly. They really did. Like,
Yeah.
they fucking literally raped and
They
pillaged.
fucked and then fucked them.
But it's like, at the same time, I understand. So for me personally, I'm a full-blooded Mexican. You probably can't tell by my fucking English accent and my light-ass skin. But at the same time, I understand where people are coming from when they don't want to celebrate it, and then when they do want to celebrate it. Because the whole thing is, to me, is that when you can't just discriminate and, you know, divide people based on their belief. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Me personally, like, I believe a lot of shit that a lot of people don't believe, but at the same time, I don't push people away because all of a sudden, like, they don't believe in the fuck I believe. I get pissed off. Like,
Sure.
I think some people are fucking dumb for the shit that they do and the shit that they think. But I'm not like, well, I'm never gonna talk to you ever again. You know what I mean? Like, I hear that shit all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's no way to live. That is no way to fucking live.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you want to celebrate 4th of July, do your thing. If you feel like it's wrong to celebrate it, then that's you too. Do your thing. Fuck, it's all good to me.
Yeah,
Personally. I mean,
honestly, I don't care if you're patriotic or whatever, because then it just makes it for like a better time. You know, like if you were to go to their house, you light off fireworks, you drink some beers and all that bullshit, you just have more fun.
yeah, exactly.
But then there's also the other side where they're like totally against like 4th of July now because of all the movements and protests and stuff going on, that they're like so anti 4th of July. It makes it to where if you were to go to their barbecue, it wouldn't be fun at all.
I don't think it
because then
would.
you're asking like, well, why are you even barbecuing today? Why are you having a party? Why are you celebrating?
Right.
You know, what's the whole point? You know. And then they'd be like, "Oh, well, it's a Saturday," and it's like, okay, but do you know what this Saturday happens to
yeah,
be?
I
know?
I understand what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like I said, without getting all political about it, because I don't want to get political.
And I'm not trying to get political about it either,
You
but
just-
I mean, it's kind of like a common view where if you were to just look at it for what it is,
Right.
you would be able to tell
Yeah,
what
it's like,
it is.
Because again, I've seen people cut people off and not talk to them because they voted for Trump or something like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
sure.
and I'm not trying to get political and say that Trump's okay and stuff like that. I'm just saying in the simple way of like, these people are your friends or these people are your family. Just because they believe in something doesn't mean like you gotta fucking cut them off or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they're a fucking pedophile, then bitch, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, one of those fedipiles. Hey, so while we're on the 4th of July talk, how many 4th of Julys, or when you think of 4th of July, you think of like barbecue, you think of, you know, like playing, you know, fucking cornhole like we were earlier,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you also think of swimming, right? It's summertime, middle of summer,
True,
you think
true.
of swimming, right?
Yeah.
when you go into the pool and you jump in, are you a nose plugger or are you a just fuck it, I'm gonna jump in?
I'm a jump inner.
Okay.
I don't like to plug my nose.
Okay, I'm glad because I was about to say, if you hold your nose while you jump in the pool, you're a fucking pussy, bro. You're a puss, dude.
Almanac Jack getting drunk on you.
Yo, this is when it gets real. Because, honestly, if you think about it, you don't take a shower and hold your nose. You don't go take a bath while you hold your nose, and you're washing your face and your ass and your whatever. But then you
Your whatever.
but then you jump in the pool and all of a sudden you gotta hold your nose, and you're like, oh, I'm afraid of the water going into my nose and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you're a big puss.
I mean, to add on to that subject, I really have nothing to add on to it, as I understand why people hold their nose.
Well, why do people hold their nose?
Because water gets in there, bro. That shit hurts, bro.
So water gets in your ear too.
Water gets in your nose.
You gonna plug your ears?
It gets deep into your brain, and you're like, oh.
In your cerebellum?
Yeah, in your
next to your limbic system?
in your in your celestial
next
system.
to your medulla oblongata?
Yeah, next to your abondigas. Like, that shit hurts. Like.
No, but I'm serious. Hey, open me up this beer real quick.
Open me up.
No, but like you see people, like grown ass people that have had plenty of, thank you. You've had plenty of years of swimming experience. You could have gone to swimming lessons or some shit like that. Meanwhile, you're still plugging your nose, diving it. You're not even diving in the pool. You're just pencil jumping into the damn thing, and you're holding your nose. What a puss.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that I kind of think about it too. Is like I don't hold my nose when I jump in, but there actually has been a time where I almost drowned and died.
Really?
Yes. I
tell me about it.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this before.
No,
but,
tell me about it.
So
Tell
I was
us about it.
I want to say I was like 8 or 9, and I was at my cousin's aunt's house. And her name was like Aunt Waffle or Aunt Wafer or some shit. I swear to God, her name was one of those two, right? That's what they called her.
Was she an ice cream cone?
Aunt Waffle or Aunt Wafer. Something like that.
Okay.
It started with a W and had a couple F's in there. So, FFF. Anyways, so I had this floaty, this shark floaty, and basically you would just hold on to the floaty and you would just float on it and just kind of swim yourself. I never learned how to swim. So this one time when I was in the pool, I pushed off the side, and when I pushed off, I flipped forward into the pool.
Oh.
And so all I remember was like I was literally like going down backwards with my arms out, like I don't know what the fuck to do because I don't know how to swim. I don't know what the fuck to do.
Exactly.
And I just remember
you just surrendered.
Yeah, like I remember looking up and just thinking like, well, the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
Like I still remember vividly like the fucking pool, like looking up to the top to the surface of the pool.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden my cousin, he came in and fucking grabbed me and pulled me out. And I remember being grabbed and that's it. But then I remember after when I was like all fucked up, like I don't want to get back in the pool no more.
Yeah.
Like, but dude, I could have died. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have been here.
I think everybody's had like at least one pool accident or mishap or whatever. Like one of my buddies, I remember like his pool mishap happened at my pool.
Oh shit.
Well, we had a pool at my house, and he happened to be running, and there right where like the pool like has like this little trap for bugs and whatever.
Yeah.
And he happened to be running, and his dumbass slips his foot right into that.
Oh shit.
And he like like fucking eats it like shit inside of there. Luckily he didn't break a foot or a shin or his ass or anything, you know. But I mean it could have been a lot worse. But I had a pool mishap where when we graduated 8th grade, we had a pool party at my buddy's house, who happened to be the same guy that had the pool mishap at my house.
Oh, you guys are having pool mishap parties.
Yeah, we're just trading haps. So anyway, we had this pool party at his house for our graduation, and he had a couple of like the pool floaties, just the circles or whatever, And we were all diving. We're like, oh, let's dive and see if we can jump into them, right?
Oh, okay.
And we're all getting them right. You know, a couple rounds in, we're pushing the floaty back to farther.
Mm-hmm.
And man, Justin over here,
Eminem.
Yeah, he's holding the floaty.
God damn, those fireworks.
Yeah. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, seriously. If you hear fireworks in the background, because we're in the back of your house right now.
Yeah.
Almanac Jack's house.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
So anyway, it's my turn to dive in. So I dive. This fucking guy moves the floaty forward. And so when I dive in, I go inside, but my back literally clamshells on the other side of it.
Shit.
So I basically bent backwards and I basically fucked up my back.
Damn.
And so I'm underwater when this happened, and I remember just yelling, "Oh!" while I'm underwater, though. And so while I'm underwater, I'm screaming. And so I finally get up to the side, and I'm holding myself up, above the water, and I'm just like, like dying.
Your
bro.
fucking back's like broken.
Yo, my back is burning at this time, man. And so, and I finally get out of the pool, and I'm like trying to hunch over to like align my back again, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like at this point, I'm just cussing fucking this dude out. I'm like, "You fucking idiot! What are you doing moving that thing? Like you just fucked me up, man. I'm only 14 at this point, and you're just killing my whole life, dude. Like, no wonder I didn't play football or anything." Oh shit. But yeah, so like that was my pool mishap.
Damn.
And I feel like it's one of those things where when you have one of those mishaps, like you kind of like put off doing that certain thing ever again.
Oh yeah.
So like certain people, like they might have like a mishap on a water slide or anything like that, and like it kind of traumatizes you a bit.
Yeah, it's a traumatic experience.
You never want to do that again.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And one of those things too for a while was literally like swimming. Like I couldn't swim. Like I was scared to swim.
Just regular swimming?
Yeah. So one of my phobias at the moment is going too far down in a pool because I'm scared I won't come back up. So like I've had dreams where like I'll jump off of something and then jump into the fucking water and then go too far down.
And never come up? Or?
And like I'm trying to come up as fast as I can, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking make it. I'm not gonna fucking make it. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, fuck, this is crazy as fuck.
Oh,
like,
and it turns out it's just one big wet dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I wake up in the fucking in my piss, like, oh. Yeah, but it sucks, dude. Like those things like suck, but
Yeah, they do.
And then I've seen videos of kids there people taking their kids to instructors that are trying to get like kids used to the water and not scared of the water.
Yeah.
And literally I saw this video recently where this instructor just throws the kid into the water.
Oh.
And the kid's like trying to fucking swim and stuff like that.
Was it the one where like the kid's like gotta be younger than 2 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, the instructor just straight up, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
That was the kid in the
Yeah.
pool. I'm like, that's fucked up.
So here was my, at first I was like, that's fucked up. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? First and foremost, the kid's not going to remember this.
Sure.
So what this does is, since they're not going to remember this, they're basically setting them up down the road so that they feel better.
Yeah.
And they understand the water more. And I thought that was
trial
super,
by fire things.
Yeah,
man.
I think it was super smart of them, because like if you see at the very end of the video, she's like she like starts snapping her fingers, and I think like what it does is like it gets the baby to like face upward, so their head's like coming out the water and like focusing on the snaps, and then she puts her hand under their head so that they're like floating there.
Probably so they know which way to face, right?
Right.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, that this doesn't seem as bad as it looks, because it looks like fuck. You get like hella anxiety at first when you watch it. They're like, yeet, you just toss somebody in there, and then the baby's like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, like they don't know what the fuck is going on, like,
right.
But it's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen some of that shit.
No, I feel you there.
Fuck a pool.
Yeah, fuck pools.
Fuck a poop.
Have you ever had a house that had a pool? I mean, you had your apartments that had a pool, but
No, I've never had a pool in my backyard. No.
We had a pool at one of my houses. It was one of my parents' rental houses.
Oh, okay.
And we had a pool party there, and I think it was like a couple of friends from like my 8th grade class, whatever, and the girl that I happened to be with at the time, she was there, and then like her friend. And
You were
whatever.
cheating on Janet? No.
What? Yeah.
This is like 20 years
10
ago.
years before I knew it. I was cheating on her, yeah. But yeah, the girl I happened to be with at the time, like, you know, she brought her friends or whatever, and I had my friends or whatever. And then one of my buddies ended up having a fat ass cramp in his leg the whole time we were swimming, and he's like, ah! And so like I had to straighten out his leg and shit, and they're all calling, oh, Dr. Sanchez over here. And I'm like, it just makes sense to straighten out your fucking leg, bro. What are you talking about?
You had to like
Idiots.
rub it, and he's all higher, and you're like, calm the fuck down.
Pretty much. Yeah, well, with it being like summertime or whatever, like it's like the past few days it's been pretty hot, right?
Yeah.
And then, but before that, we were lucky enough to have it like pretty cool and stuff like that.
A little bit, yeah.
But with the past like few hot days, like you hear on the news or whatever, like people dying of heat exhaustion, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And then with masks on, it gets even worse.
Sure. But I feel like dying of heat exhaustion's kind of got to be like one of the dumbest things you could die from.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
No, I'm serious, because if you
Explain yourself.
Okay, if you think about it, say you work an 8-hour day, right? Outside.
Yeah.
At what point does it come to you that, wow, it's really hot out here, maybe I need to get some water, or maybe I need to go in the shade for a little bit?
Yeah.
How hard is it for your brain to comprehend that? And say you do have a boss that's like, hey, you need to get back to work, whatever. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck
Just
you.
say, I need to get some water, I need to take a 10-minute break or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're a city worker, you're like mandated to have like a tent or whatever to hide underneath for a break or whatever, and you're allowed like I think a 5 or 10 minute break every hour to get some water and stuff like that. So if you think about it, dying from heat exhaustion's kind of dumb, you know, because if you're a worker and you die from heat exhaustion, it's kind of dumb because you're dying from something that could have easily been prevented.
Well, so then my question would be like, you know, if anybody has ever had heat exhaustion and gone to the hospital for it and almost died, you know, what is your story about that? Because again, like I feel like a lot of people, they kind of slave to like the 9 to 5, like they're at work and they're like, I don't want to go to the bathroom because I don't want to get in trouble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're at work and you need to take a piss, go to the fucking bathroom. If you're at work and you feel like shit, do something about it. Like, don't fucking just work through it and be like you're gonna be okay, because really anything can fucking happen if you just skip that shit.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make you less of a fucking worker than anyone else. Like for me, like dude, there was like, so for those of you who don't know, and a lot of you do, like I'm a packer. Like I pack.
You're a Green Bay Packer?
And I pack packages and whatnot. And so there was one time where I got in trouble for going to the bathroom too many times. But it happened to be that my rate that I was packing packages was still top 5 for that one fucking day. So it's like, and I told them that, I was like, how are you going to sit there and get me in trouble for going to the bathroom too many times if my rate is top 5 still?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were like, well, that's true. Like, we didn't think about it like that. I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to let you know, like, you know, there's something going on. Like I think on that day I like had like fucking choro or something like that, you know.
Sure.
Something
could have been anything.
Yeah, something was going on like down there. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could have just gone to the bathroom because you felt like whacking off or something.
Can't say I've ever done that, but yes, something like that.
When I was working at Alorica.
Oh God! Don't tell me you whacked off.
No. When I was working at Alorica, you know, I would go to the bathroom because I had a big old bottle. They gave us a big old like Verizon bottle.
Oh, okay.
And so like I would just drink tons of tea all the time while I'm sitting there. And so I would, you know, log off, go to the bathroom, whatever. And they were like, "Oh, you're going to the bathroom too much." So I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry, I drink this big old bottle and whatever, so I gotta go pee. They're like, well, why don't you go to the doctor and get like a note that's saying like why you have to go to the bathroom so much or whatever. I'm like,
ridiculous.
I'm not gonna lie about taking a piss when I'm telling you the truth right now.
Yeah.
I'm drinking this fat ass bottle of tea that makes me go pee.
Yeah.
You know, so why am I gonna lie about something like that?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they tried to basically get me to go to the doctor to get a fake note of why I was going to the bathroom so much.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. Like, again, like, I understand that there's... So here's the thing. When it comes down to, like, certain rules and regulations and even laws, there's people who have, like, they find loopholes or they completely destroy the law or the rule for their favor, and they take advantage of it. And that's why we have rules or laws just in general. So then it becomes, like, one of those things where it's like, you know me. Like, you know that I'm an honest person. So why are you trying to condemn what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like you have to like that, and that I think that's part of another reason why you have to understand your employees, because you know that they're like really like legit about what they're talking about. And then obviously there's other ones that just take advantage of shit and just act like fucking dickheads all the time, you know what I mean?
Dick
like,
holes.
Dick holes, class holes, assholes, all that stuff.
Dill holes.
Dill holes.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. It's stupid.
It's crazy.
But I don't know. But anyway, so like with the way that like the world is right now and like whatever, how do you feel like 4th of July is going to be celebrated in the future? Like, do you feel like maybe in the next 2 years it's gonna be as how do you say like controversial or polarizing as it is this year, or do you feel like it's gonna get better or it's gonna get just worse?
So I think this is gonna be a preview, sneak peek into the GTP Conspiracy Podcast. Because here's the thing: the world that we live in today is not what's currently presented as being factual. We're presented that we're free. We're presented that we have liberty. We're presented that we have justice for all. You know what I mean?
Justice.
But it's Justin for all.
Justin St. Lucia.
For all. But the whole thing becomes is that we're not living in a society that is meant to be lived correctly or for each other. We are currently divided, and we will continually be divided from this day forward. Honestly, as I sit here, I don't know if we're going to be celebrating 4th of July again. And I say that not as somebody who's like, oh my god, I have a tinfoil hat and blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Like, it's more so, this is a serious issue that we're currently in, where we're being forced to do certain things because of a pandemic or whatever it is that we're being forced to do. And where we're heading is not where we want to go, and where we're heading is not in there's no freedom to it. Yeah. People will trade in their rights to be protected by anything. So if there's like a fucking UFO like shooting people down, like if the government says like we need everybody to stay inside so that we don't die, and people will do that. People will stay inside. People will give up everything to stay in that realm. So again, sneak peek to GTP Conspiracy. Here's the thing: is that I'm not saying that all of a sudden that, you know, I'm like a conservative or I'm a liberal. No, these two parties don't fucking matter. Like, those two parties don't matter. The Democratic, the Republican, which gang you're in, it doesn't fucking matter. Those two things intertwine at the very top, and we're just seeing it for what it is on a lower basis, from our news, from our social media, from the people that follow all that and become literally at some point brainwashed that it's easy. I used to be there. I was there at some point when there was the fucking war on Iraq, and you know, they were sending in troops to Iraq and Iran and Baghdad and all that. And I read one time on Twitter where it said, if we don't fight the war over there, we're going to fight it over here. And then
Yeah.
I remember saying that to everybody, like putting that on Facebook, putting that on Twitter. If we don't fight the war over here, or over there, we're gonna fight it over here. Blah 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 blah. And then I started to realize, like, I was the dumbest motherfucker ever because I listened to what people had to say. I listened to these algorithms that were created to push agendas and whatnot. And when you start to think outside the box, you start to understand what we're taught is not what it really is. Because again, we'll go back to July 4th, the Independence Day. How the fuck are you independent? You can even go back to Juneteenth. A lot of people, they celebrated that, and I feel like, you know, for colored folk, for black folk and whatnot, they really wanted that day for themselves. But Juneteenth was the day that white people said you were free. White people said you were free that day. Like, how the fuck does that even work? How the fuck does that give you any justice? How does that make you feel any better? It shouldn't, because it doesn't. At the end of the day, you being free is a God-given right. And if you don't feel that way, then, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, if you look at the facts of what we're going through, if you understand from a big picture point of view, we're not living in the fucking sense of where we need to be, and we're literally living in a lie at this very moment.
Yeah, I agree.
So there you go.
And you want to know
Say less.
You want to know a bigger lie is Yankee Doodle stuck a feather in his cap and he called it macaroni.
Yeah, that.
How the fuck does sticking a feather in your cap equal macaroni?
Oh, my
I don't
God.
get it. It does not make any sense, because any macaroni I've ever had has never been a feather,
Never tasted like feathers.
has never tasted like a feather,
And was never
ever
in a cap.
in a cap.
Yeah, exactly.
So how the fuck does it equal macaroni? I don't get it.
So there must be like another macaroni. Like, there must be something about macaroni that we're missing. Like, you know what I mean? That we haven't looked up
Macaroni
ourselves.
might be like a secret word, like a hidden
like
something,
like
you know?
pizza and hot dogs.
like pizza and gate or something, you know, like I don't know, like Adrena,
just like pizza and
like
cake.
Adrena and Chrome or something.
Oh,
I don't
I've never
know.
heard of that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna look that up. You should too.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty fascinating. Maybe, I think.
Maybe.
I mean, if you look it up, it might be something pretty cool, you know. But who knows?
So we were talking about how it's been hot and whatnot. So recently, so I've talked about on my podcast that I'm going to be moving to Hanford more than likely, and I'm almost positive that it's going to happen at this point. So one of my friends, his name's Adrian. He works at Hooked on Nutrition, which is in Hanford. So if you're in Hanford, go to Hooked on Nutrition. It's actually really badass.
Or if you're just in the surrounding areas, Fresno, Clovis, or
Yeah, you can go there
anywhere.
too. Anyways, so one day he was like, you know, let me show you the apartment. So I was like, all right, cool. So we drove there, even though it was right behind. So we drove there, and as we're driving back, he's like, you know what, I'm going to go through this car wash. So this car wash, bless you, coronavirus. And so let me tell you this. We went through this car wash, and it was one of those liquor store car washes. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's the liquor store and there's the car wash next to it.
Yeah.
It's not a legit car wash. It's just like one of those like random car washes that are there.
It's just like a hut that you take your car into, and all of a sudden your car is clean.
Yeah, it's just clean. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
I
you
get
come out
you.
and you're like, damn. So we get in there, we drive into this car wash, and all of a sudden this thing starts going off, and it's like this little sprayer thing. It's just like throughout the whole car, from the front to the back. It comes back and it does it again. It comes back and it does it again. And me and him are looking at each other like, I think this thing's fucking broken.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fucking working. Something's gonna happen. Like, we're gonna fucking blow up, or something's gonna happen. You know. So for a lot of you who don't
We're
know,
gonna get wet.
I have like kind of claustrophobia for the most part. Like, if I'm in a car for too long with the windows up and it gets hot, like, I'll get some type of claustrophobia. So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I'm gonna get fucking claustrophobia. So it comes back for a fourth time. Same shit, just spraying like soap or some shit. And again, he's like, I'm freaking out. Like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, come on. Like, hurry the fuck up,
You're straight up, oh God.
And he's like, damn, this is some bullshit, you know, like, whatever. And so finally, it starts going. And the fuck, because you're not going through and it's like cleaning as you go.
It's moving around you.
You're just stuck there, and it's like moving around you exactly. So finally, it starts going. Finally, it cleans you off and everything. And then once, and I swear, it felt like I was there for 15 fucking minutes.
Jeez.
Can I tell you the actual time that I was there? No, it might have been 5 minutes, but even then, that's a long fucking time for just a drive-through car wash.
Yeah.
And I thought I was gonna die.
Those car washes, yeah.
I thought I was gonna die. I got so fucking anxious, like my anxiety was like, bam, through the roof, and I thought I was gonna die.
You know what I think would like raise the stakes? What if you were having that car wash, but one of the windows happened to be down just a little bit?
Oh man!
So then all of a sudden, here come these soap suds and water jets and shit, just shooting into the car.
And
like, dude, that would just be like the shits, you know? Like,
yeah.
What if you like all of a sudden your back seat is just totally wet? You know? And it wasn't even because you had a girl back there. It's just wet because of the weather.
I would be heated if I left my fucking windows down.
Yeah,
because
me too.
It's one thing to have like leather seats, but if you have like cloth seats
or pleather,
God, or pleather, yeah, that'd be bad too.
Yeah,
because that shit would crack.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we went through that shit. It felt like it took years to go through. And it was like, I'm never going through this fucking car wash ever again.
Yeah.
Never. And we paid like $9 for that bitch.
$9?
Yes.
Jesus.
It wasn't even a good one either. Actually, it was okay, but...
I bet you it didn't even give you like that much foam, huh, on the car?
Actually, it did. But you know what's funny? As it was spraying, everything was getting filled up with foam.
Yeah.
But there was like this one spot on the right side. I was in the passenger side. So one spot on the passenger side window where it was like open. And there was no foam there.
Huh.
Yeah, so
they ran out of foam or what?
I don't think it ran out of foam. I just think like it was like the guy who made it, William Dafoe. He, you know, he just made it so that like there was just no foam right there, and I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I heard that William Dafoe, he played the Green Goblin in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, he did.
And he was all like, well, now, Spider-Man, what are you gonna do now that I got Mary Jane? You're over here cock-blocking Harry. Can't you tell that they want to be together?
Yeah, and I'm almost positive he was telling Spider-Man to get fucking a car wash or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's probably like, go ahead and get the triple action foam. It'll clean the car better. Spider-Man. No. But you know what is pretty crazy is the fact that, like, do you feel hot? Okay, like obviously summer's hot or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, do you feel that if you were to manscape yourself, do you feel cooler? Do you feel cooler if you were to manscape yourself, or like if you just said fuck it, I'm gonna go and just be hairy all summer? Do you feel hotter? Like, do you feel manscaping and getting rid of hair equals cooler, or does it not equal anything at all?
That's a good question. Oh man, honestly, I can't say that I like manscape as much or like super often. Like, I do pretty often, but like not as often to like really notice a difference.
Like, do you need to manscape? Like, are you straight up weed whacking down there, or?
Well, I mean, I can't.
Are you just lawn mowing?
I can't say
all
that
around?
I have like an Osama bin Laden beard or anything, but
sure,
it does get kind of, you know.
It does get a little bit Saddam Husseini.
Yeah, a little Saddam Husseini.
A little bit Muhammad Husseini.
Muhammad Ashad. Yes, Muhammad Ashad.
Yeah. Because honestly, I feel like manscaping in the summertime is a must-have.
I agree.
Because Dude, honestly,
sweaty as
sometimes,
fuck.
you'll have fucking sweat gooch, and then, dude, like, it's like one of the worst feelings ever. Because then, like, honestly, during the year, like, you don't smell yourself, you know? But, like, if you were to, like, just be, like, a sweaty-ass fucking dude, like,
Oh,
with
God.
hair, you've gotta be, like, smelling yourself and just straight up, like, yeah, maybe I should do something about this, right?
I agree. You would definitely have to, like, you know, there is times where it's like, if you don't for a while, like, it does get pretty bad. The smell gets bad.
And you know what's weird is, like, you don't realize how fast time goes by between
Oh, no.
scapes, you know, between mowing the lawn.
Between escapes.
You know, like, you don't notice how, like, long it's been until you're like, wow, I'm pretty stinky today.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I agree.
You're like, maybe I should mow the lawn or something, you know?
I agree. It like, again, like you said, like, you don't know the time between scapes. It does get up there, and you're just scaping as you go, like, kind of one of those things.
Are you escaping or escaping?
Escaping.
Escaping from the smell, maybe? It could be that.
Oh shit. Well, speaking of scaping, I want to go over a story about my scape, kind of. So, as we're talking about scaping in that general area, from before, I believe it was last week or the week before, I talked about how I've been having stomach pains and how I might have some gallstones.
Oh.
Well, it turns out, after some ultrasounds and whatnot, I don't have gallstones, thank God. However, I just have a fucked up liver, so I
Oh.
guess I don't know if that's any better. But so when I originally had to test for this, I had to do blood tests, a stool test, and a urine test.
So you had to give a shit sample?
Yes. So let me tell you the story, okay? I walk in to the Kaiser lab, basically, that's what it is. I go to Kaiser. So the lab is there, and they're like, you need to do this, and that. So I'm like, okay. So they give me all the stuff to do the stool sample for, but I didn't have to take a shit at the time, so they're like, you just take it home and do it yourself.
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck, okay. But while I'm there,
What do you got to shit into, though? Is it just a regular cup?
so
or?
we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because let me tell you this. This lady was not good at directions. Okay? So as
How hard are the directions? You go caca into the cup. How hard are the directions?
So here's the thing. When I got there, okay, it was her and this other lady that were there, and they were basically taking patients that were there, you know, come up to the window and tell them what's wrong.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get there, you're supposed to show me your ID and swipe your card on this thing that's in front of you. This little swiper, no swiping. And so I swiped it. She just like, go ahead and swipe your card. I swiped it. She was like, oh, the other way. So I swiped it the other way. Now, this is some foreshadowing because the person next to me, she goes up and the lady's like, go ahead and swipe the card, but make sure the card is facing you.
Oh.
And it was like, what the fuck? I didn't even get that instruction. I looked all dumb as fuck.
What a bitch!
Yeah, so I look dumb as fuck. And here's the thing. Again, it's just foreshadowing because then she's like, okay, go ahead and go and take your urine test. So I'm like, okay. So as I'm sitting there, I saw somebody come out with their urine sample, but like wrapped up in a tissue, and she like walks that way, and then that's when I get called up. So then I go to fucking do the same thing. I take a piss, and then I walk out with it, and then all of a sudden the lady's like, oh, you're supposed to put it in this little thing inside the bathroom, and then you flip it, and then it goes to the people out on the other side of
Like
the
a little window, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, like, I look like an idiot.
Here I am. Here you are. Here's my pee-pee.
So here's the thing. When I'm standing there, there's this girl that walks up, and let me tell you, she is fine as fuck.
Oh.
And I'm like, she's staring me down, I'm staring her down, and I'm like, all right, there's something here. This is cool. But then I walk out with my fucking piss sample,
Oh.
and everyone's like, what the fuck? And then the lady's like, oh, you're supposed to put it in the little window. Like, and I'm like, oh my God. So I put it in the window.
You go to the hot girl, you're like, here's my pee-pee.
So I'm like, okay, well, I fucked that up already.
Yeah.
So that's over.
She's
with.
lost interest now.
Yeah, there's no interest.
She doesn't want to see your piss.
Yeah, nobody wants to anyway. So then I go and get my blood sample, my blood done, and then after that, that's when they give me the kit to do the stool sample.
Okay.
To like take it at home. So I finally get home, and then so at this point, it was right before work, so I just went straight to work, and I was gonna do it the next day. So then I did the next day, and here's the thing. So,
You're going to make sure you eat something real good to give a good shit sample?
yeah, like a good old one of those. So
Give me a bean and cheese burrito quick.
So they just basically gave me a brown bag with a plastic toilet. Okay? And so the plastic toilet, all right? The plastic toilet fits
The toilet.
the toilet. It fits in your like in your toilet with like the little spot that you shit in. And so I'm like, fuck. So I go to put it on the toilet, and then I sit down and I'm just thinking like, wait, is my hole lined up? Like
I mean, hey, that's pretty important.
it is, because at first like I was thinking like if I missed, like it's gonna just like get all over my legs or something like that. It's gonna be so gross.
It's like the World War II pilots are pilot to bombardier, pilot to bombardier. Are we lined up for the shot?
So I finally like,
oh my god!
I start going, and then I'm like, all right, I have to readjust a little bit. So then I start readjusting a little bit, and then I'm good. But then here's the worst part.
Readjusting.
Okay, so they give you the plastic toilet thing, right? And then they give you a little stick, like one of those sticks they use to like get ice cream. You know what I mean? Those little ice cream bowls.
Yeah.
Those little ice cream cups, and then you fucking get the wooden flat stick.
What are you supposed to do? Eat your shit?
So you're supposed to take it, and they're like, make sure it's a walnut sized, and put it in the thing. So I put it in the thing.
You had to
and-
scoop out your own shit?
Yes, I had to scoop this shit out and throw it in the little thing,
Oh.
the little test sample thing. Luckily, when I fucking close it, you can't smell shit. It's like, it's shut.
You can't smell shit.
Yeah, it's shut. So then I'm like, okay, what do I do with the rest of this shit? And then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I just throw it in the fucking toilet, right?
Right.
But then, what do I do with the fucking plastic thing? Do I
Yeah.
wash it and take it back?
Do I
And then-
just smell it? What the hell?
so then I was like, fuck this. So I went and got a trash bag, and I threw everything in there,
There
and I
you
just
go.
threw it out.
There you go.
And I was like, fuck, dude. That was like the weirdest fucking thing I ever had to
That's
do.
gotta be so weird, dude.
It is weird. You take a little fucking flat piece of wood,
A spatula.
and you're like scooping your own shit in walnut form into your fucking cup.
Oh,
It's weird.
How big was the cup?
Big enough to party.
Big enough to play flip cup with?
It was basically the same size as like a urine cup, pretty much.
Okay.
So it wasn't like ginormous or anything. Like, you need your whole shit in here, you know?
Yeah, we need tons of shit. Yeah. When it comes to blood sampling, how are you? Like, are you nervous about it? Like, what if they fuck you up or whatever, leave you with a big ass bruise or whatever? Because when I got my blood drawn, the last time I got my blood drawn, it was a long time ago. The lady went into my right arm. She stuck that shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't find the vein.
Oh, okay.
And so what she did was she moved it around in my arm, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and she couldn't. She's like, "Oh, I don't know where's that." Well, we're gonna have to go into the other arm. So she went into my left arm, stabbed that shit in there. She did the same thing, bro. I had a needle moving around in my fucking arm. And it's traumatized me ever since, dude. So that's why, like, whenever everybody's like, "Oh, give blood, donate your blood," you know what? Fuck you. That's my blood. You know, you can get your own blood. Your body makes your own blood. So fuck you. Drink some water. Make your own blood. You know. But how are you with like getting your blood drawn? Because I hate it.
So I've been in and out of the hospital for a very long time, and for what it's worth, it's not that I don't like getting my blood taken. The needles, like, they don't freak me out either, but I don't like doing it. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't like doing it. So when I had to get my blood taken, it was pretty easy. But then you get, like, right before it happens, you get that little anxiety rush, like the anxiety spike. And you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, ah! And then you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad.
Do you have veins that like poke out pretty easily? Like, can they find them pretty easily?
No. So,
either.
So there's that. And then there was the time where my heart was like beating hella fast. Remember when I called you that one time? In the
Yeah.
middle of the fucking night, like I need to take you to the hospital.
Your heart's all. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, so when I got there, the lady was like, I can't find your vein. We can't take your blood pressure.
Oh.
We can't do anything like that. Because my heart is literally beating 200 miles. 200 beats per minute, not
Yeah.
200 miles per minute. 200 beats per minute. It's just going boom, 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 boom. And so it's a guy. He goes in, and then he's like, oh, I can't find it.
Oh.
I'm still trying. And then he takes it out, and he goes back in. Same arm. Goes back in. Can't find it. Takes it out. Goes back in. Can't find it. My adrenaline is rushing like crazy.
Yeah, they're probably trying to get your adrenochrome, bro. They're trying to get that blood, that adrenaline blood.
My bad, I had a fucking burp. Anyways, yeah, you're right. That's what I felt like too. So then he goes lower on my arm,
Lower?
so more towards my my wrist.
I didn't know you could do that.
And then so he does it, he still can't find it. My adrenaline
straight up, like at your wrist where it matters.
no, a little bit above. A little bit above. Like
okay.
where you see all the veins and stuff like that on your
Yeah.
on your hands and stuff. So he gets right there, can't do it. Goes the other side, goes in the middle of my shit, can't do it. Then goes
Oh.
down again, and then finally does it.
What a
I
kid.
have these fat ass bruises
I bet.
on my fucking skin, under my elbow, other elbow. It's bad.
Oh.
It was so bad, but that was probably the worst experience that I had. It wasn't all that bad because I don't really trip about it, but because even at the time, like the only thing I was worried about was my heart.
Yeah.
Because it was like going 200 beats per minute. Like
Sure.
it was just, you know what I mean?
That's
like
a fast song.
it really is. Like I do virtual DJ as well. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucked.
When last time I had to have like my blood or like a needle in me was they took out my wisdom teeth.
Okay.
And when they took out my wisdom teeth, I told them, hey, you're not going to find a vein in my arm because my veins don't pop out like that.
Okay.
I was like, my hands have fat ass veins. And so the guy who, the doctor who was taking like my teeth out, he's like, who was it that took your blood the last time or tried to take your blood from your arm? I was like, I don't know, some nurse lady.
Some jackass.
I was like, I don't know, some nurse lady or whatever. And he's like, well, she was a woman, that's why. And I'm like, yo, what the
He
fuck?
said that?
He said that.
Oh my god.
So he was like, well, we're gonna, and I was like, and I don't like getting needled right there, you know,
Yeah,
like it just
yeah.
feels weird to me. So they're like, well, we're gonna spray some shit on there, like freezes it, and like you won't feel it. So they sprayed that shit on there. I didn't feel it, and they're like, yeah, we can't find a vein. I'm like, what did I fucking tell you, you fuck? So meanwhile, they're like, all right, well, maybe we should try your other arm. I was like, well, maybe you try my hand. And,
Yeah.
and I was like, and my vein was just fucking like huge there. It's Nile River,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And so they stick the needle in there and like, oh, we found the vein real easily. I'm like, what do you think I was trying to tell you this whole time? So they left me with a fat ass bruise on my arm, and
Fuck.
even though I told them you're not gonna find anything there at all. I think that's just the thing with doctors. Like, they don't trust you. Like, you gotta imagine like how many times like somebody say that, I don't know, has diabetes or something.
Right.
You know, they get their blood drawn all the time. They get like stuff done, worked on them all the time, and they're like, if they were to say, yeah, my veins in my arms don't pop out too much, but my hands do, like, why wouldn't you trust them to say like, okay, we'll just take it from your hand?
That's true.
You know, why does it stuff like that happen? Just trust the person that's getting the work done on them all the time,
Yeah.
and you won't have to worry about anything.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't have an answer for that. The only thing I can think of is just following protocol, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess.
But
so.
I understand what you're saying, because that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
They're just like,
Because then I think that leads to more like the traumatization, you know, like
Oh, for
people
sure.
don't like to go to the doctors anymore because
Fucking hate needles,
you know,
stuff like that.
because then it's always like, oh, I'm gonna get the guy that like it's his like first like 2 weeks on the job or something like that, you know, and then this guy just totally fucks your arm up.
I
you know?
agree. I agree.
But doctors in general, dude, like
General doctor.
general doctor, yeah, like I don't know, man, like I haven't been to the doctor in a while because I haven't had to, and even though that I haven't been in a while, like I'm still like healthy, you know?
Yeah.
Like I haven't had like a like, oh, there's a sharp pain in my left arm like the past couple weeks or whatever. I'm just not
There's
gonna
a
go to the
fucked
doctor.
up liver in your. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah, that's you. But you know, like I haven't had a reason to go.
Yeah.
And even though I haven't had a reason to go, like there's probably still people that are like, well, you should go every year to get a checkup, whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
and me, I'm like, why? Like, there's nothing wrong with me. They're like, well, what if there is something? Well, we'll figure it out down the road, you know? Like, that's just kind of how I am. Like,
I understand.
If I don't need to go to the doctor, I won't go to the doctor.
I see what you're saying. For me, I'm like, I need to get shit figured out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not like a mitochondriac where I'm like, wait, not a mitochondriac, a hypochondriac? Yeah, hypochondriac.
A hippo?
A hippo, hippo, where I just feel like I'm like I'm sick all the time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that, but if I do feel like something's wrong, like I will say something about it for sure.
Yeah, sure.
But I also don't like going to the doctor because all they do is prescribe you shit. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's
"Nah,
always
that
like, here, take this
doesn't-
pill.
that doesn't do anything.
Nah, man, I'm good. I
It
don't
just
need no pills.
like basically all pills do is just suppress whatever it is that you're doing. It doesn't actually
Yep.
take care of it.
Yep. Well, just like Chris Rock said, man, the money isn't in the medicine. You know, the money isn't in the cure. It's in the medicine.
Yup.
You know, the money's in the comeback. That's what it's all about, man. Which is another sneak peek into the GTP conspiracy show, which is pretty crazy because this GTP conspiracy show, man, there's so many levels, there's so many topics that we can go into, and just like the sirens going off in the background, I mean, there's always something going on.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think when you go into listening to GTP conspiracy, you have to understand that we are not presenting stuff to you as a joke. Like we're giving it to you straight, something to think about, because opening your mind and understanding that what we've been taught, like in school, about history, about science, about all this other stuff, there's money involved. And when there's money involved, there's always going to be a gray area. You know, people could talk about, you know, I've seen memes about like the whole coronavirus thing where it's like, you know, doctors say that coronavirus is bad, but I don't know if I should listen to them because people on Facebook say it's not. You know what I mean? Then I'm just like, well, there's actual doctors that would say the complete opposite of other doctors. So what doctors are you actually going to be listening to?
Yeah, who should you listen to?
Yeah, who should you listen to?
Exactly. Yeah.
So then it comes down to that. Who should you listen to? And, you know, for everyone you say that's there to that's giving it to you straight, there's other people in that same profession that it's giving to you the other way.
Yeah.
So then you have to understand that there is two sides to the story, and our media is not as transparent as you may think. So again, you go into listening to GTP conspiracy, it's not going to be some, you know, oh well, you know, grass, it doesn't grow because there's aliens and you know, because white people doesn't want it to, whatever. Like, it's not going to be like that. We want you to understand that opening your mind and understanding the bigger picture of what's happening is okay.
Yeah, exactly. And like we have said in the commercials, whatever, you are going to get presented with certain facts, but it's up to you also to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. Because why would you blindly listen to somebody and take it as fact, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're going to be doing in this show is giving you both sides. You come to your own conclusion, and you believe whatever you want to. And if you disagree with us, That's
That's
fine.
okay.
Exactly. We're not gonna shun you forever.
Yeah.
We're not gonna say fuck off, don't listen to us.
Nope.
And we're not gonna say, you know, fuck you, that, you know, you're a terrible person for not agreeing with us. It's okay, we agree to disagree, and listen to the next episode on the next topic. That's it. We're not gonna be, you know, hating on you if you
Right.
decide not to listen to us. And that's where I feel like a lot of certain shows or certain people come to a impasse, is that they're like, you need to listen to me or else.
Yeah.
You need to agree with me or else.
The or else, right?
Yeah.
And the thing I'm gonna say on my part at the end of all this is simply, if there's something that you truly believe, like with all your heart, look into it, figure out why, so that you know why, not that you just blindly believe it because somebody said so, because somebody said this. If you listen to our show and you listen to what I have to say and whatever I'm saying about this topic, and you're like, he's right, I'm all the way in, I feel like that's kind of a dumb thing to do.
Yeah.
Figure it out for yourself and understand what it is that you want and what it is that you're doing, so that you know the facts, you know what's happening, and when you do, your life becomes more free, and your mind is instantly unshackled from the institution that we know as our media, our schools. And I'll end it off with this: back in the day, and all these years before leading up to currently today, there used to be a thing called alternative science. Now it's just science with a capital S.
Yep. That's right. I agree. And you can agree or you can disagree. And either way, we're not going to say fuck you. So either way, let's go ahead and wrap this show up.
That's your pedophile.
We've
Fuck
had
you.
Yeah. We've had a pretty good show. So Executioner, where can they find you on the social stuff?
So first and foremost, I'd like to thank Yeshua for allowing me to do this, and Elohim. And I just want to thank B-Sal, Mr. Almanac Jack here, for allowing us to host this here in this backyard on this 4th of July, as all these explosions and shit are going on in the background.
And the dogs.
And the dogs too. And I just want to thank everybody for listening to our podcast. Again, this is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different quality. But the reason why we're doing it is because of explosions. But the reason why we're doing it is because we wanted to give you a different experience as to how we go along and how we really talk to each other as well in a different setting. You know what I mean? So again, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat. All you have to do is just go to thegoodtimespodcast.com/about, or just go to thegoodtimespodcast.com, hit about, and then you'll be able to scroll down, see the Executioner. That's me. And you'll be able to click on one of the links and find me there. What about you, Jack? Where can they find you?
Well, they can go to either Twitter or Instagram and follow me at bsalsanchez, BSALSANCHEZ. And don't forget to go to thegoodtimespodcast.com, where you can listen to older shows. They're all there in the archive, and you can also share those shows with other people. So, on behalf of the Executioner, I'm Almanac Jack. You have listened to another episode of Good Times.
Tonight.